How are we doing on time over here? Oh, wow. Is Scott on yet?
Just joined.
Oh, did he?
Try that again. How's it going, everybody?
Doing good.
All right. Good.
Hey, Scott. Hey, Joe. Fred Crowman here.
Hey, Fred.
Fred Crowman, Scott. Joe, nice to have you
Yeah.
on the line here tonight. Thanks for the invite.
Are you actually in state or are you out of state?
No, I'm in state.
Okay.
I'll be in state at least till this fall, I'd say.
Wow.
And then with this whole China virus thing, I might just stay in New York State. We'll see.
There's about 10 states you can go to and not get in trouble, I think, is what the number's at right now. I don't know. This is crazy.
Scott, you may only be able to take your vacation or your travel around the country in New York.
Yeah, a lot of places to see in New York, that's for sure. As long as I get out of here before the snow flies, I'm good.
Oh, man.
So,
Yeah, good for you, Scott. Yeah, I don't want to go to any states where they require, it's mandated you have to wear a mask to go out in public. I'm not going to go to any state like that. So we'll just have to wait and see how things are, in a couple of months from now.
yeah, it's a blessing and a curse, honestly, on the real estate market. There's good things and bad things with us. So,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as I say, I don't know if I told you guys, but yeah, I had a house that we just listed at one price and got an offer for $10,100 above asking price. So,
That's
it's a pretty hot market, and hopefully it'll close and life is good,
Fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Good for you.
I was involved with a house over off of Ridgeway by the railroad tracks by Miller Brick Company. It's on LaGrange.
Yep.
Listed the house for $114,900. It sold for $127,000.
Nice.
Offers.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Nice.
Man.
I had one person tell me that they made an offer on a house, but it was not accepted, and the house did not close. So they made another offer. This is months later. They wanted to make another offer on the house. It came back on the market that day. They went there that night, but it already had been sold. So things are just red hot at this point.
Mm-hmm. We're going to begin starting in a couple of minutes, everybody. Just give me a chance.
I'll mute myself, guys.
Okay.
What's anybody else got going on? We'll just chat for a little bit and then we'll get this thing started. Nobody?
Nobody wants to tell.
Am I muted? What's going on? Look, I know I didn't make the picnic, okay? Don't take it on me. So. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, we got 17 people on here. We got 7 on video. The other 10 are shy, I guess. So
I can't tell.
yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Let's see. See a couple new names on here too, which is great. So, all right. So we'll get this thing started. This is if everybody's ready, this is a FFREIA alternatives group. We talk about other ways to make money in real estate other than landlording. There is a landlord support group that meets every other week too. You guys can talk about landlording to your heart's content. We're here more to talk about how to make money in real estate other than landlording. Quick disclaimer, we don't give legal advice. We don't give tax advice. We give suggestions. You really should check with your attorney, your accountant, your CPA, and your mom and your dad. That's what it is. We got a little agenda to go over today, and then we're gonna kind of kick it off to questions and answers. But what I'd like to do is have anybody who's new, like if this is your first alternatives meeting, I'd like you to introduce yourself, and if you could put yourself on video, that'd be even better, so we can see your face. But we'll start with people who are on video right now. Who's new to the group? Want to introduce yourself? Tell us your name, where you're from, what your involvement is in real estate, what you hope to get out of real estate. Okay, then.
I'm Jay.
There you are. Jay, go ahead.
Jay, we can't hear you.
I'm Jay. I'm an investor. I've been doing it for, I worked. Is that better?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
better? I'm Jay. I'm an investor. I've been doing it since it's going on a year. And I'm just looking to learn more from everyone and with FFREIA. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Welcome, Jay. We're glad you're here. Who else?
Definitely.
Arba, I know I've seen you a couple of times, right? Cheryl, what about you? Are you a little new to the group, or you been around?
I'm a little new. I showed up once before.
All right.
Yeah,
Tell us about yourself.
it's been a little bit of time, but just here, I guess, to kind of keep an eye on what's going on in the local scene. I'm from Albion, so I'm outside of the city, but I do work in the city.
Okay.
And currently, I just did a mobile home flip that I have some people moving into next weekend.
Congratulations.
Thanks. But yeah, other than that, I have some past real estate experience, but haven't been doing much in the last decade or so. So.
Okay. All right. Your mobile home flip, tell us a little bit about that. Just kind of give us some quick numbers on it, if you don't mind sharing that.
No, the numbers are horrible. I think I remember the meeting that I was at. I think you, Scott, were saying you were hoping to get out of your flip with a profit, and that's kind of where I'm sitting with this one. It will cash flow. So I think I have about 12,000 into it, and I'm selling it on owner finance terms for like 14.5. So over 4 years, I'll get some profit off of the cash flow, but yeah, it's not a lot.
Okay. All right.
The holding costs were a bear. It took longer than I anticipated. So
Good. Thanks for sharing that. You know, you
Thanks.
take the good with the bad. You know,
Yep.
you really do. And I've had some bad ones along the way, and I know everybody on here has done a couple of them. It's probably had at least one bad one. So, thanks for
Absolutely.
sharing that. Who else is new? Rashad Richardson, are you new? All right, step up. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I'm from the Rochester area. Oh, just want to say thank you guys for having us. And I'm from the Rochester area, and I started real estate about like 6 months ago.
About 6-7 months ago, yeah, we started it. We've been trying to do some wholesale deals here. We come across a few properties. We actually just finished our second wholesale deal, and then we just locked up a third property here in Churchville. So we're trying to get that out as well. Well, I'm Walter Jeter, by the way. My parents are in the military, so I've been all over the world. And now I'm here in Rochester trying to get these houses.
All right. And what was your name? I got Rashad.
Oh, my name is Walter.
Walter, okay. Well, welcome, guys. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
And we're going to go down the room. We're going to do have needs, wants in a little bit. And at that point, you maybe can bring up this Churchville property if you want, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right, cool. Cheryl, are you new? I've seen you once or twice. If you're talking, there you go.
Okay. No, I've been here quite a few times. I'm a wholesaler, investor, if you want to call it. Work full time as a nurse, but I'm trying to get into wholesaling and do some probate things. Just recently been contacted by somebody who's having some difficulty with her probate situation, but I think she's kind of underwater. So I'm still trying to learn a lot and working on my real estate license, getting ready to take my exam. So
All
staying
right.
busy.
Good. Yeah, with that probate thing, when we do questions and answers, I'd like to circle back to that, and let's see if we can come up with a strategy that might work on
Okay.
that. Cool. All right. All righty. Yeah, let's see. Okay, as far as non-video people, let's see. Trying to think of who we got. Joe, the fellow babe, right? How do you say your last name, Joe? I apologize. I know you. I don't know if a lot of people in the group know you. You gotta unmute yourself, Joe, if you're talking.
So that's Delafava, yeah.
There you go. All right. Okay. Anybody else new to the group? Want to introduce yourself? Okay. All righty. Yeah. Okay. Carl Weeks is going to join us a little bit. He's not on quite yet. He has some things to talk about. At this point, we kind of do like news. What's new? What's going on? And I see Leon has joined us. Leon, you want to tell us anything new that's going on or anything we should know?
Yep, I was wondering how I was going to change the agenda a bit there.
All right.
Okay,
You're the agenda.
well, only for a few seconds. I only need a few minutes.
All right.
And I was on at about, what, minute after, so but I had a couple of things that I need to do real quickly. So I wanted to make sure that, well, first of all, I know that a lot of people maybe were not able to sign up for the picnic. And I know, there were certain people who wanted to come. And I guess, first of all, I guess I should introduce myself so people would know the reason why I'm talking. For those people who are new, it's really great to have you be here for one of our 5 or 6 meetings that we have every month. And my name is Leon Griggs, and I'm the president of Freedom First Real Estate Investment Association. I know most of the people know that, but some of the new people certainly do not. One of the things that I wanted to do was, I mentioned the picnic, and let me just continue with that for a few moments. At the very last, almost the very last minute, we found out that the number of people that we could have at the picnic was going to substantially reduce the numbers. And so as a result, we were forced to cut things short from a number standpoint. So let's hope that next year, COVID-19 will be in check and we'll have our normal group of our normal numbers, which is 120, 140 people, which certainly would not have been acceptable under the current circumstances. Clearly we expected to have more folks than we did and would have, but we, as I indicated, was forced to cut it off. So we had a great time for the limited number of folks that were there. And we look forward to next year doing it, as I indicated, under different circumstances. The other item that I wanted to mention, and it's not up on the website at this point, but we'll get it up and it'll get it out to folks. The September general meeting is going to be, and that's on September 10th. It's a Thursday, of course. And it's going to be a virtual session with Equity Trust Company. And so we'll have our normal meeting. It probably will be a little bit shorter. We're still trying to work out all of the specific details. We had worked this out before from the standpoint that we were going to have them as speakers, but we didn't have details. And so the other important thing is on that Tuesday, not that Tuesday, on Tuesday, September 22nd, John Bowen is going to put on a workshop. And that workshop is going to go for like 3 hours, where he's going to be doing a virtual wealth building workshop. It's going to include our group and then a number of other folks that from this region who wants to learn more about how you use self-directed IRAs to invest in real estate. I know for some people this may be something that is probably new to you, but of all the things that I've done in real estate, it's one of the things that I kick myself for over and over again, because I did not take advantage of the opportunity as early as I could have. So for those people who are really looking at how you might really do investing in real estate in a way, well, it used to be really phenomenal until the government changed the way the lifespans of self-directed IRAs from, well, not just self-directed IRAs, IRAs in general, from a time period which goes on and pretty much from one person to the next, if they're the beneficiary, to the person who has the IRA can only have it exist 10 years after they pass away. And so that was a big shock that took place. But otherwise, it still remains one of the best entities to use when you're investing in real estate. And so you will have an opportunity to get a lot more information in these 2 sessions that'll take place. So look forward to having you get more information and come to the session. Those are 2 key things I just wanted to touch base upon, Scott. So you'll see some information coming out about it, and it's one of those things that you really do not want to miss. And Scott, you've done a lot of things with self-directed IRAs, so this is the alternative meeting. You can tell people a little bit about some of the things that maybe you've done in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Good way to hand it back to you, right?
Sure. Yeah, thanks. Equity Trust. Love them. They're great. They've done good by me. There's been some bumps in the road. Yep, there has. But I'd just like to put away $10,000 a year for the next 10 years, have $100,000 in the bank, and in 20 years, retire with $1 million tax-free. That's what they're going to teach you how to do with Equity Trust. Right now, next week, I put a property under contract to wholesale out. I put up $2,000 earnest money out of my Equity Trust Roth IRA account. I put up $2,000 earnest money. I assign that contract to somebody else. I'm getting $20,000 assignment fee. And that's all going back into my Roth IRA. All tax-free. Uncle Sam's not going to touch it. When I get of retirement age or decide I want to pull that money out at retirement age, that's all tax-free. There's some great books out there about how to live a tax-free lifestyle. We're working on that. My wife and I are working on that, and it's just awesome. You know, when I talk to new investors, I say, when you sell a flip property or something like that, you do it in thirds. A third goes towards your debt, like your past. Put a third in your past, pay off your debt, stuff like that. Take a third of it and enjoy it right now. Go take a trip or something like that because you worked hard. The other third, invest that in the future. Invest in your IRA. Invest in the future businesses and stuff like that. And John's going to talk about that stuff. So John and I talk, once or twice a week. I always throw ideas by him, and make sure you make the September 10th meeting, and then make sure you block out time for the Tuesday, September 22nd. It'll make a huge difference in your future. That's my point.
Yeah, just to interject, John Bowen is I was lucky enough to take a couple of classes from Dick Desich, who is the founder of Equity Trust Company and the first person to really set up a self-directed IRA. And I thought he was phenomenal. John Bowen runs circles around him. I mean, he is really good. one of the things that he's going to do in the virtual wealth building workshop is to go through specific examples and talk about some of the things that you can do. And so it's one of those things where you really don't want to miss it. Back to you, Scott. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Liam. Susan and Joe. Joe McGuire is the vice president of FREIA, and Susan is the everything of FREIA. Do you guys have any announcements you want to make or anything you want to say?
Good to see a good turnout tonight, but I have no announcements. Thanks.
Yeah, no, Leanne talked about equity trust, and that's all I have for right now. I have some questions for next month, but that's up in the air still, so we'll see. Thank you.
Excellent. Good. Glad you're here. All right. Thanks for that. And let's see. If you read something in the chat room, it's kind of funny. Okay. Let's see. Brian Timmons, is this your first time joining us? I know you are part of a vendor member group. But Brian, why don't you come on and introduce yourself? Because
I've been on a few calls.
Okay.
So I'm Brian Timmons. I'm a realtor with Remax Realty Group, partners with Colleen Bracci. We've got the CB real estate team. I would say probably, well, it used to be about 85% of our market was investment property. But in the past few months, it's probably shifted a little bit more to residential property just because it's so hot right now. And the investment property has slowed a little bit. In the past 4 weeks or so, we're really seeing that start to pick up.
All right,
that's all I got.
All right, cool.
You bet.
All right. And Joe, you want to introduce yourself? I know of you. You're kind of a legend around Rochester, but and I don't know if I've seen you on Alternatives call before, but I'd like you to just introduce yourself if you could. Can you hear me, Joe? Joe Dello? And I'm sorry, I butcher your name every time, man.
I think it's Della Fave.
There we are. Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I've been to a few of these, and I always love coming to them. So I saw this coming through, and I had to make sure I was here for this. You know, it's actually kind of funny. I'm doing a self-directed IRA deal, 2 of them right now. One, we actually just bought a vacant lot in the Roth IRA, and then the other one, I had a pretty large conversion, so I converted it to a traditional IRA, which I'm doing a flip on right now. And I just recently learned about doing solo 401k because that has other benefits too that the Roth doesn't, as far as if you're going to buy houses with owner financing and things like that. It could do that same tax shelter. So, you know, just learning the alternative methods are always just kind of gives you that a little extra thing to look for, you know. And when I saw that was the topic here, I was like, I'm not missing this one. So the kids are inside getting a little extra screen time because they don't get a lot. They're 5 and 7, and my wife's walking with her girlfriend. So I'm like, I'm getting outside and I want to tune in. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
You do a number of rent-to-owns too, right, Joe?
Yeah, that's what we actually specialize in is rent-to-own houses.
Good, cool. I've done a few of them, but Joe makes me look like an amateur. They're really good at what they do. Joe and his wife, they are quite the power team on that stuff.
Well, you know, we kind of shifted that way 4 years ago-ish because of when we had a lot of single-family homes, you start getting a lot of the calls, just small things, but this was a little bit more passive, and it works out a good business model. We love it.
Excellent.
We do land deals too, just straight land. We're closing on 1 in 2 weeks, buying and selling. And if you know the right areas, I mean, there's no tenants, and you know, there's no rehab. Maybe there's some updating, which is just easy things to do with approvals. But after you get that done, or bring it to commercial value if you can, is another strategy. It's just to create value in the property just by some legal work. we've had success with those, and I really enjoy those too.
Excellent. You might become a guest speaker for us at one of the upcoming general meetings.
Great. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
just
be,
put your wife in front of everybody, man. So,
yeah, that's a good target for me. I use her, but she's really, I mean, we bought quite a few in the last few months. I recently went full time to this business now. I was in the auto world in the finance office for 15 years, and I've got so many connections over banks and things like that. I love my job, but with COVID that hit, I'm on an immune suppressant for I have Crohn's disease. So with that being the case, me being in front of 600 people every single month wasn't a good fit for me. And we talked about me going full time anyways, and this kind of gave us that jump. And since then, we kind of just ramped up everything. It's been wonderful. So, and I'm spending time with my kids and wife and sitting on my front porch getting work done, my iPad, a laptop. So it's been a dream. It's really
awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, this COVID thing it's helped a lot of people. It's also hurt a lot of people. I understand it, but man, it's really given some people a chance to really focus and regroup and stuff like that. So
yeah. And, you know, for some folks, if you could help them along the way too. And that's what really we've been working on, and finding folks who just, you know, they want to sell for XYZ reasons, either they're relocating or other reasons like that. And, you know, the fact that we could be a part of that's pretty neat.
awesome. Good. Thanks for sharing, Joe.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. We're going to talk about some other things going on too. Carl Weeks, are you back? He'll jump back in on video. I told him I was going to call him out.
What are you doing?
Hey, mister.
How you doing?
Hey. Okay. I know we typically don't talk about landlord things, and part of this talk might be landlord. There was a big event today, and Carl attended it. I opted not to. Maybe some other people did too. But Carl, would you mind recapping what it was about, what you learned, and what might be good for us investors who maybe aren't so focused on landlording, but could help overall? Would you mind talking about that, Carl?
Sure. So before I do, I have a couple questions. Scott, you were not at the picnic. What happened?
I was living part of my dream. Part of my vision is to make sure my elderly parents are taken care of for Chris and I. And that's one of our vision statements, and it's one of our dreams. And Chris's dad took a turn in his health down in Virginia. And she went down for a couple of weeks, and I decided to go down and help her last week. It was kind of just kind of help her along. And so that's where I was last week for a picnic. I apologize to everybody for not being there. It really was tough for me to
That's okay.
not be there. I love the picnic. But
That's much more important, Scott.
Yeah.
You know that, right? So
Yeah,
my other
thanks.
question is to Brian Timmons. You had your first garbage plate. Any questions?
I haven't been the same since. I drove back later trying to get another one, but everybody was gone.
Oh my God. And Colleen, you finally landed in wherever you were driving. I hope you're okay, but there you are. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
And she sounds great. Wow. Keep talking, Colin. Oh, shoot. She found the button.
Sorry, my husband used to say the same thing. I was just out in Sterling, New York, listing a beautiful camp, and had a drone guy that I had to meet out there. So just got back home. So I'm glad I didn't miss the meeting.
Awesome. So Scott, thanks for, and I think a few of us have been on today's Zoom meeting with the city. I don't want to be redundant, but you know, lately, especially now with COVID, the city has taken on a position of supporting property. I want to get away from the word landlord. Landlord is like, you know, let's not go there, right? It's a property manager, a housing provider, but the city has taken on a new attitude with dealing with property owners. They realize that we are an integral part of the city and housing and everything within it. And so they put together a nice summit today. This is the second year they have done this. Last year it was in person. This year was online. and frankly, yeah, I don't know if you know Gary Kirkmeyer, but Gary did a nice program that went through the process of the importance of our role in um, housing, providing affordable housing for our tenants out there. And they went through a discussion of there was an overview of the new eviction laws that came into play in 2019. There was a panel discussion with several folks, Jamie Kane, attorney with Boylan Code. We had Mary Leo, executive director of the Housing Council. Denise Reed, she's a financial assistant of Monroe County DHS. Mark Muyo, which is the legal aid director. It was a nice Q&A and discussion as to, things that have changed. I won't get into all the details. I'm just providing the overview that Scott has asked for. And then after that, the city went into, what they have developed for programs to help us property owners to deal with the COVID, deal with the non-payment of rent, which is pretty rampant right now, and so on. So the city just launched a new rent relief program 2 days ago, and I think if you go online to the city website, they'll provide all that for you. But it's a pretty awesome program. A lot of CARES money came into play, being funded by the Catholic Family Center. There's a overview of the program, what's required to tap into those funds. So, and then finally, it was the last hour was Q&A of participants. And now there was like 450 people on this summit. It was like awesome. So it was very helpful and relieving that they have things available for relief for not only tenants and landlords. And it was I would encourage you to take advantage of what they have available out there for you. So I do believe, I don't know who was on the site today, but they are posting a lot of what happened today on the city website. I'm not sure exactly what, but again, to surmise, this was an attempt to provide us information to what's available out there for financial help and any other kind of help in this time of COVID crisis. And frankly, it was a good thing overall. I think it was very, very well attended. Now, I'm not sure who's there today, but and by the way, this summit can be viewed again. I understand it is on Facebook Live, and also I think the city website has a link to see this summit again. So it's not wasn't a one-time thing. You can actually see it again. My understanding that's the case. So that was pretty much it. Go ahead, Scott.
Thanks for sharing, Carl. And if anybody doesn't know Carl, he is a property manager. He also runs a landlord group, one that meets every other Thursday. He runs one of those. Actually, next Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday. Yep. There'll be a Zoom call. Carl runs that. And thanks for sharing that, Carl. That sounds like great news. Does anybody have any questions for Carl about that? We'll just hit on that quick. One thing I will ask Carl, I appreciate the city helping out and stuff like that. The biggest thing I'd help out is, man, if they'd open up eviction courts again. I mean, it's just, you got some tenants out there that, even though you could get them help, they just aren't taking it, man.
Yeah, and that's a problem right now. So one of the, and they provided highlights of that. So unfortunately, 3 days ago, actually, no, about a week ago, there was an order that came out that any petitions filed after March 17th are suspended to further notice. We can't obtain a warrant of eviction to October 1st. And there's other overlapping orders out there that I won't get into right now. But yeah, it doesn't. You there, Scott?
Yeah, I'm here. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, it doesn't look good, but it is a moving target. It does change by the day. And I don't know who's been doing their own evictions or doing pro se. I've been doing my own evictions for 40 years. And frankly, it's the first time I've come to realize that it may be best to have an attorney go through this mirage of new stuff and with them so I can learn along the way. I mean, we're learning this all over again. I mean, it's so weird. We're in the twilight zone. Yeah, there's some, issues with the whole court system right now. I'm not sure about the what's the 2 o'clock every day. The what's that called again, Leon?
Real estate roundtable.
Yeah, the round table, 2 o'clock every day. I think you can jump in and get the latest what's going on. Very, very helpful because it is a moving target, literally by the day. Go ahead, Scott.
Okay. Anybody else have any quick questions for Carl? All right. Good. Now we go around the room. We're going to do have, needs, wants. You have a property you're looking to sell, or you're looking to buy a property, or maybe you need a contractor or something like that. That's right now is the point where we talk about that. I'll kick it off, and definitely Richard and Rashad and Walter, I want you guys to talk. Maybe we'll save you guys towards the end. But I am going to be selling my personal residence. I am willing to, at this point, to sell it partially furnished because we're moving into an RV. It's 2 acres. It's got a frog pond. It's got a pool. It's got a hot tub. It's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And I'm thinking, I got to consult with a couple people, but I'm thinking I might list a thing for $199,900. It's in Brockport School Districts, and we raised a family here. We love it, but we're ready to move on to RV lifestyle. So that's a retail sale that I got going on. Another need, self-storage. Done some self-storage deals. I'm closing on 2 more deals next week. I'm really excited about that. And there's some deals out there to be had. So if you see self-storage facilities look like they're maybe a little run down, let me know and we can either partner up on them or I'll pay a healthy finder's fee. That's it for me. Anybody else have needs, wants?
I got Scott. I have a need anywhere in the city. I don't care what kind of property, Colleen, that has a 3-car garage or storage facility attached to a residential property. So in other words, you have a single family house in the front, you have a garage in the back, that kind of thing. So I'm in the need for that.
I'm listing a house on Dewey Avenue that has a 3-car garage and a 1-acre lot.
Ooh, talk to me.
I will.
Boom, I may know about that house.
You might know about that house, Scott. Yes.
Woo, okay, good.
I know about this house.
Yeah, you're the seller.
No,
Let me get.
but he sent somebody my way. Thank you.
Yep. Cool. All right. Anybody else have needs, wants? Joe, you got anything going on that's rent to own ready?
No, I mean, we're picking up some stuff. I probably will in another week or so. Most of the stuff I have is either gone or we're keeping it inventoried for ourselves. But we are looking at some commercial stuff, anything commercial, industrial, large spaces, not just in the county, but also outside the county. We're also looking for, and of course, commercial, residential, big, small, whatever. Because we're running the gamut. We're doing residential right now, and then also looking getting into some more of the commercial stuff too.
Good. Right. Who else? Anybody else have needs, wants?
Well, Colleen, I know about the one in Portland, okay, but it's a little too pricey right now. I'm gonna let the market beat it up a little bit.
That's okay, but the one on Dewey is cheaper.
Right. Okay.
Yes, you'll like the one on Dewey. Well, I've got a voice here for a second. We do have the Zoom call that we do every other week. Tomorrow, Tales from the Rock, or Tales from the Hood, investment property in the Rock, and it's all on lead paint. Len Merritt from the city is going to be there, telling us about city inspections. And we've got Section 8 there again to tell us about the initiative to help landlords pay for lead paint remediation. So if anybody's interested in joining that call, send me your email address at rochesterhouses@gmail.com and I will send you the link for the call.
Excellent. All right. Where'd Rashad and Walter go? We didn't lose them, did we? Oh, how about the house and church?
Oh, I'm right here. Sorry, he was good. Our computer was about to die. But we actually have a property.
All right. Anybody else have needs, wants?
Oh wait, he was just trying to talk. Walter was just trying to chime in.
Oh yeah, we got one. We got one, guys.
We have
There they are. Hey, Rashad and Walter, you're back. You guys have anything you're looking to sell or might be wholesaling out?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, we do.
We have one in a property 253
Muted.
Sanford in Churchville. It's a 2-bed, 3-bed, 1-bath. It's about 1,300 square feet. The lot size is 60,000 square feet on the lot.
Hey, Walter, you're muted. We can't hear you if you're talking.
Can you hear me?
I can hear him.
There you go.
Oh, you guys can hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
You just got to talk a little louder, Walter.
Okay, so the property here, you said.
Oh, I got you guys. I got you guys.
Nope, still nothing, guys.
Oh,
I can't hear him. Anybody else hear him?
I can hear him. Yeah.
I can hear him too. Yep.
You can hear me?
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
It
My
seems
bad.
like you're the only person that can't hear him.
My bad. Because I hit the mute button, my mistake. Okay, go, guys. Sorry, man. Keep going, guys. You guys are doing awesome.
It's okay, guys. It's okay. Oh yeah, so basically, yeah, it's 253 Sanford Road, which is right in Churchville, New York. It's 3 beds, 1 bath, 1,316 square feet, and the lot size is huge. It's 60,000 square feet, and both the tenants are living there right now, so it's occupied, and they're very motivated to sell,
And they're leaving.
and then they're gonna leave like by the time like if anybody wanted to purchase the property, they'll be vacant. They want to go somewhere else, and I'm like really close friends with the guy. We graduated from high school together.
What were you getting for rent?
He told me it was about 1,500. 1,500, yeah, 1,500.
Okay.
Yeah, the basement. It's a huge basement. The living room size is very, very big, and they also have like a deck, out on the outside of it that you can like walk through, but it's still like indoor basically. So it's a really nice house, but it's an unfinished basement. It's huge, and they have their own laundry room as well that you can go into. I figure out something else. Occupied, in good condition.
Is this a single or a double out there, guys?
Single family home. 253 Sanford Road,
3-bed, 1 bath.
North Churchville, New York, 14428.
Is the basement finished in this one?
Unfinished.
It's unfinished. Okay.
Yeah, it's unfinished, but it's not like bad in the basement.
It's
Everything,
huge.
yeah, it's huge.
Spacious.
It's really huge.
You said that was 1,300 square feet?
Yep, 1,300 square feet. 60,000 for the lot size. So 1.377 acres.
What was the price on this again?
150. As we touch on.
Anybody else have anything? Okay, now we're going to go into breakout rooms. If you've ever been on a Zoom call, you may or may not have done these. I really enjoy them. I've been in a bunch of them. Where's Joe? Joe McGuire? There he is. Joe, you all set up to do this, or you need a couple minutes?
It always takes a couple minutes, Scott, but they're very good things to do.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go into breakout rooms of 4 people. This is when you're on video, it really helps. If you're on just audio, it's a little tough to do the breakout rooms. What we're going to do, we're going to go to a breakout room. There's going to be 3 to 4 of you in a room. We're going to take like 15 minutes. Want everybody to introduce themselves, a little bit about your background, what you're doing in real estate. And right now, if time and money were no object, what would you do? Okay. That's the first question that you have to answer. Second question is, what do you need to do to get there? Okay. So I want everybody to take just a couple minutes yourselves, talk about it. We're going to go in alphabetical order. We're going to go by first name, but we're going to go backwards. So if your first name starts with a Z, you're going to be the first one up in the room. So I don't say that because my first name starts with an S. I say that because Dustin one time said he's tired of going first. So what'll happen, you'll see a window pop up. It'll say meeting room, go to meeting room. And you just click on that to go to the room. And then you'll wind up with some other people. And just network. That's what
So it looks like I'm in a room with a couple of other folks. Are you there? What's happening? Hello? Andy?
We're back. We're muted. Can you hear us, Joe?
I can hear you, Joe.
Oh. I don't know if Scott's back yet or not.
I'm back. I had to go get some water. Let's go. All right. Everybody back? Let's see. Yep. Yep. Looks like everybody's back. All right. Cool. All right. So, okay. A little recap on the breakout rooms. What everybody think? Like them, hate them, don't want to do them again? Cool.
You're good.
Good. Anybody have anything they want to share from their breakout room?
I want to do a breakout room where there are other people in it other than me.
Yeah.
There were a couple of people that were assigned to it, but they weren't available. So we'll work on it.
All right. All right, good. Yeah, that's important. If you're on, to be on video. I know not everyone wants to be on video and see what's going on, stuff like that. But when we do the breakout rooms, that's what really helps. So, all right. Looks like Joe changed his hair color while he was gone. Hey, what's going on? You're muted. Introduce yourself. I know you guys, Joe introduced himself, and he said you're out for a walk. But go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
I'm Jen, Joe's wife, and I was a teacher before the real estate thing here. I taught 7 through 12 English out in Livonia, and I absolutely loved it. But I knew I wanted to stay home with the kiddos, so I was able to do that. And slowly but surely, we've built ourselves quite a little business here, and really excited. Even though COVID's been kind of crazy, it's kind of been a blessing. I don't know what he said before when I wasn't here, but to have him home around so much more and to be able to do this business together is really awesome. So I'm excited to see where the next 2 years takes us and how many more people we can help.
Right. Awesome, Jen. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else have anything they want to share from the breakout room? I know with me, I was with a couple people who, if time and money were a factor, they'd spend more time with their grandchildren. That's cool. Looks like
we had.
Good. Go ahead.
We had something interesting in our breakout room was talking about flips and being successful starting out your first flips and how you try to actually make money instead of breaking even. And I think that would be a good topic in the future, how to go about that and get the right contractors, get the right people involved. I just thought it was pretty interesting, and I know we could probably go deeply into that.
All right. Yeah, definitely. And as a good realtor, when do you make your money on your investment?
You make your money on your investment if you call us and you sell high.
Okay. Good answer. All right.
On the FREIA website, if you're a FREIA member, isn't there an access to some kind of program where you can put in, an estimate for windows and stuff, and it helps you determine whether or not it's a good flip? Have you seen that?
Yep. They're out there.
What's it called? It's on the FREIA website. It's part of being a member. I did the webinar one time with it. Remember what it was called?
Well, I mean, it's part of the website. Every person who's a FREIA member, I'm sorry, did I cut someone off? I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead, Leanne.
Yeah, everyone who's a FREIA member gets a website. And one of the things in that website, I don't know, you might have to get the premium one, Joe. Maybe you understand that part a little better than I do. But it allows you to basically do estimates, to basically do the whole cash flow analysis, if you want to call it that, associated with doing a rehab flip. So you have that as one of the opportunities. And if we get into some more detailed discussion along the lines that you guys are talking about, the board has talked about doing some other things that would fit in with what it is that you are talking about now. So gonna open up the bag, you might as well let the cat out. So one of the things that we're looking at doing is actually setting up and having interns that are younger individuals that we actually, and I actually do this now. I won't say that real loud, but I actually, for people who are Freedom First members, show them how to do their first flip. Just a part of my everyday life. No pay, just here's what you do. Use this particular person to do roofs, use this particular approach, and take them right through the whole thing. So I'm doing one of those right now with someone, and I've done it many times in the past. So to do that and the interim type of thing, I think would add greatly to what is already a fairly successful not-for-profit organization. I even talked to Joe Labadera about doing some of it, and he said, "Whatever you say, I'll do it." So now it's official.
All right.
Hopefully that answers your question. But if you go, I mean, one of the things is that there are a lot of things that we don't publicize maybe as much as we should, but the website and the classes that are put on associated with it gives you a lot of information on how to do some of the basic creative financing things that all real estate investors should know. So whether it's how do you do a flip, how do you do subject to, how do you do rent to own, you know, they're all part of training that's available through the website. Okay, I'll go back to you. Hopefully that addressed the question.
All right, good. Now we're gonna talk about like what's new, what's going on, things like that. A couple things I've discovered. Anybody's had to buy lumber lately? Out of control. Just talking to lumber companies and stuff like that, they're pricing their lumber daily. They're changing the prices on lumber daily because it's just going up so much. 30 and 50% are what people are seeing increases in lumber prices. And then circuit breakers. I was talking to a guy's electrician. He's having a hard time finding circuit breakers, and especially the arc fault or circuit breakers that they like want you to put in nowadays. I guess some building inspectors are passing houses that they don't have arc fault circuit breakers in there, as long as you quote unquote promise to put them in once arc fault circuit breakers come back in stock. So I just heard that from an electrician earlier today. Another thing that I didn't realize, what makes a lot of sense. I was talking to a realtor friend of mine, and he said there's people leaving New York City like crazy, and they're coming to upstate New York. That's why we're seeing the big buyers coming up here. People are leaving New York City like crazy. They find out they don't have to live there. They can work remotely and all that, and they're actually moving into upstate New York. They want to stay in New York. They're actually moving into upstate New York. So it's a big boom for us here. That's why you're seeing some of the house prices you are. And when it's going to stop, who knows? I have no idea. I'm sure Colleen and Brian, you probably could speak on that, how crazy some things are nowadays.
I posted an article yesterday on Facebook that Rochester again and again is in the top 3 places to buy real estate right now, known as the hottest zip codes in the country, Rochester. So,
Yep. Yeah, three bedroom ranch in Pittsford that was $299 went for $410 the other day. I mean, we're 20% over asking price is nothing. No, we see that all the time.
Yeah, but what about you know, will it appraise?
It doesn't matter. People are, believe it or not, a lot of these people are paying cash.
Cash.
Or they put in the contract that they'll make up the difference between the appraised value and the offer in cash to make up the gap. So the seller isn't worried about the appraisal.
Lady 3 doors down from me never even had to put her house up for sale because somebody she knew, or somebody that knew her that knew somebody else, knew that she might sell her house. And they came and knocked on her door and said, I heard that you might be selling your house. Can I buy it?
That lady might be a little upset to find out that if she put it on the market, she probably would have had 10, 12 offers that would have driven her price even higher. That's what the market's doing right now.
I didn't even say anything about it. Her father fell back in October, broke his hip, and she wanted to sell it before he got out of rehab. And she never even had, because I saw a dumpster in her driveway. And I was like, did he pass away? And I was scared, how do I ask, And I went up to her and I was like, how's he doing? And she's like, well, I'm not family. I'm the people that are moving in. I was like, moving in? She had already sold the house, never even put it up for sale.
Are these buyers from out of town or are they local?
They're local. She knew somebody that knew somebody that knew her.
What about Brian? Was it Brian before? One in
I'm
Pittsburgh?
sorry? Oh.
I was wondering, what about some of the others? Are they local or out of town is buying?
Well, we're seeing local people that can work from home. So they're saying, why should I live in this area? Let's go down and live in Canandaigua. Let's live in the Finger Lakes because I can work remotely. I've shifted showing houses to quite a few people that were looking at Webster, Penfield, that now found out they're going to be working at home. They work at St. John Fisher, some of the colleges, but they can be remote. And I spent the weekend down in Canandaigua showing houses, and the lines of people waiting to get in these places. They're eliminating now 15-minute showings to get as many people in as you can. How do you see a house in 15 minutes? But that's it. The next group is knocking on the door. So we're seeing people from downstate coming up to the Finger Lakes. You're seeing people from Rochester going down to the Finger Lakes. If you've got property, Canandaigua to Geneva, you're going to get big money.
I want to tap on this. This is not local. This is national. I just got off the phone with a client in California. Two of them. The same thing is happening there. Same thing. Multiple offers above this, above that. I have a client in Denver doing the same thing. So this is not local. This is national. I don't know what's going on. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe real Colleen and Brian can, but this is so weird. And I think one of the reasons is the interest rates are so crazy low right now to finance stuff. That's one reason, and the lack of inventory, right?
Right.
Well, part of it is that, and part of it is if people are going to be working from home, their need for space in their houses are changing. They're going to need home offices instead of being able to, go to the office to work. So they need places that are a little bit more secluded to be able to work, in a quiet space if they've got kids. The educational areas in their houses are going to be, the whole needs for space at home is different. People, the needs are different now. And combine that with the fact that they've got more money to work with because of the interest rates, and they don't have the commute that they used to have to be restricted to.
I'll just throw this in here too, folks. With all the unrest going on in the major cities, New York City, LA, Portland, Seattle, etc., people, they don't want to live in the cities no more. They want out, and that's why they're moving.
Yeah, I showed 3 houses in the past probably 5 days that actually had separate rooms set up as a classroom because teachers lived there. And they had all their supplies, everything, and they were doing Zoom teaching out of their homes because they still can't go to the school and do it. And so these people that are looking for 3-bedroom homes are now looking for 4-bedroom homes plus a den or a finished basement. So, both spouses have room to work.
Mm-hmm.
Thing I'm hearing is people who had rentals are putting them on the market to sell them now. I know 4 investors that did that, and they're just like, the money I made selling it, it'd take me forever to make that money as a rental.
They're done with that.
Yeah, and But Dustin, you did something like that, didn't you? If you can hear me, Dustin, I know you're
I'm right
not
here.
on video. Yeah.
I'm just shoving my face with food, so I don't want anybody to see that.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting here eating. Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody, but Dustin, you just did that, right? You had a property. It was a rental, and you turned it into a sale. You sold it instead.
Yeah, only because we had a pretty bad fire, so we had to do a rehab anyways. The initial intention was to just do the rehab and cash out refinance and hold it, but the market was doing well, and there was 2 great comps right in the area, one on the same street, and the one on the same street was actually being sold by my realtor at that time. So I called them and I said, if that house sells for that price, call me immediately. And they got a full asking offer the first day. So we listed it and did really well. And like you said, with the amount of money that you're going to make in profit on that, I mean, it would have taken us years to get that in rental income. So it was smarter to take that money and just snowball it into something else, something larger.
Anybody have any predictions on how long this will last? This fury will last?
How long the COVID situation is going to last, or how long the housing situation is going to last?
The house buying fury will last. Any ideas or any predictions?
I hope forever.
Hmm?
I say I hope forever as a realtor.
Oh yeah, no, that's hope. That's
It'll last until the stock market tanks and interest rates go up. Hi, everybody.
until interest rates go up. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say until the unrest stops in the cities.
I don't think the unrest is driving this.
Okay.
That's nothing.
I know I've been getting calls from people from Florida and New York City who are buying here right now. Like, Joe, I got extra cash. I want to, what do you have available? I got some that are driving me crazy because they want to, they just want to buy here. Plus, some of them want to take, they see the opportunity of some of these people who need to sell because of the non-paying tenants. All this stuff with the COVID and everything else has brought about. It's obviously we all start to realize things are shifting, and now people are looking at a lot of things differently. I was even discussing it with Scott. It was either yesterday or this morning. I can't even remember when I talked to him about this, but like I talked to a guy today. Well, actually, it was a lead that came in. The guy's got a double. He's got non-paying tenants. The double's probably worth 60 to 70 grand. And, and it's occupied. And the guy's probably going to be somewhere around $25,000 to get rid of it, and it's just a question of, all right, so some of these guys, they already know that they have to be in a position to be able to hold a non-performing asset. They know it's not going to last forever at the same time, depending on condition. Some of them will go in there, they'll even pay the people to get the heck out. Some of them, the people don't care, they're going to stay. But, there's different scenarios for different people. And I know, they know that if they buy it here and now the way it is, if they get the people out, some of them will take advantage of some of the high prices that are going on. And then a second strategy is if they can't sell it and get the people out, they'll hold it and they'll cash flow it because the numbers will make sense to them anyways, especially compared to some of the bigger cities. You're going to spend $25,000 on a double. Where are you going to find that?
Mm-hmm.
Especially in New York City, you can't, you can't find anything for that. I'm thinking buy windows for that over there for a building. And, but a lot of people are doing things a little bit differently, and they're finding and seeking out opportunities in the meanwhile. That's what, I don't know, that's what I'm noticing. I don't know if anyone else has been noticing that, but I know I've been shifting and instead of doing the exact same thing, I'm trying to transition out and say, okay, where is everybody headed? And yes, people are buying houses and things like that. I mean, we're loving the housing market. We're picking up more right now, but I also want to make sure that no matter what we buy, if it doesn't last I want to make sure I don't get all of a sudden stuck with all these houses and people are buying. Oh, you know, I'll pay extra because everybody else is paying extra. I'll say no before I do that because I want to make sure I don't get caught with my pants down, basically. And next thing you know, you're stuck with properties that you were hoping to sell for a higher price, and you know, because I'm just waiting to see what happens with the economy, the election, interest rates, and all this COVID stuff that's been going on, which I'm sick and tired of hearing about COVID. I'm sure all of you are too.
One thing I did notice along the lines of that, Joe, is I'm sifting through off-market deals, whether it's Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. You'll see a amazing multifamily for a decent price, and then I saw about 10 of them, and in the description, needs 2 evictions, and they're just all they're a package or a full portfolio that this landlord is just giving up, and all of them need evictions, and that's an enormous risk, and someone that you know, I think maybe Carl can speak for this, even if the most experienced person would possibly turn away from something like that just because your hands are kind of tied, right? Especially in New York State.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to deal with that, it's not for the faint of heart, but there are opportunities. You know, I know a guy, he's, you know, I talked about him before. He owns 90 something properties in it. He's a local guy, but he's waiting. He usually buys, and he's like, I know deals are coming. And he goes, I'm not afraid. If they're not paying, not a problem, but I want them at a fantastic price.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the strategy.
You know, sometimes it makes me wonder if how hard that landlord or that property manager tried to help that relationship with the tenant, whether it's cash for keys, or maybe it's just something as simple as the previous landlord or property manager was not taking care of the unit, so the tenant is fighting them because of that. You know, I'm always curious as to how that relationship is, and maybe just someone that is a better manager and has a better customer service style can just take care of that situation. You can keep those tenants, but you gotta put the money on the table before you can figure that out, and that's the risk.
Well, you know, we picked up one in the Rochester-Irondequoit border, and we bought it at a really great price because the guy hadn't gotten any money. We took it over. We had a conversation with the people, and they're paying. They haven't missed a month yet. This guy had not gotten any money all year long.
So what was the main problem?
Management company, and the guy lived in New York City. So there was a disconnect. Stuff wasn't being taken care of. We went in there. They're the nicest tenants in the world. From what that guy was telling me, he wanted to burn that house down.
Sure. So the tenants were just sticking up for themselves, basically.
Yeah. So there are bottom line is that, you know, there are opportunities. You just have to be able to make sure that you can handle it. I know of an apartment building I just found out on the west side. It's got well over 60 plus units, and a good chunk of them are not paying their rent. And the guy took them to court. There was no C of O, and the judge said, you're not throwing them out because there is no C of O. One guy's been living there a year now, over a year, without paying rent, and the COVID has made it even worse. And I'm like, ask the guy if he wants to sell it. But it's going to have to be at a decent discount. And then I'm going to, if he is interested in selling it, I'm going to go have a conversation with each and every single one of these people, because I want to make sure, because this is not going to be no $1 or $2 or $3 or $400,000 deal. This is going to be a multiple seven-figure deal.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure.
Is it possible to put a contingency in a purchase offer to speak with the current residents?
You can do whatever you want. You can put whatever contingency you want.
Sure.
Question is, will they agree to it?
Or tell the truth. But, you know, sometimes maybe it's just simple as getting on the same page and you already know that you're going to handle things differently.
Yep. Hey, Scott, I know it's like just after 8:30. I don't know where you are time-wise.
Yeah, I myself, I blocked out till 9 o'clock. If people want to drop off, you sure can. We kind of go into that question and answer period. That's just what we were doing right then. Anybody have any questions or anything they want to talk about, or anything you want to bring up, or any challenges you're having?
I have one question. Has anybody on here done a cash out refinance with CNB?
And I'm about to start one.
I have done multiple of those with CNB.
Good experience?
Yeah, they're great. The one thing about CNB, which is great, if you're going to do it through your LLC and you're personally guaranteeing that loan, it doesn't show up in your credit report.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, we will be doing our LLC.
Yeah, then you're PGing for a personal guaranteeing the loan, and then they're one of the few banks that does not report it to your credit report. So you could have multiple properties and multiple mortgages and then pull your credit and still keep it high because of not having all the debt on there.
Wow, that's a big advantage.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I've been speaking with Craig Dick. I don't know if that's who you were working with or not, Joe.
No, Matt Whalen is a gentleman I know there, and I'm actually friends with the president of their mortgage department, although he's in the hospital right now with COVID, so he's not doing too well. But hopefully he's in strong. He's been there for since the 10th, and I believe he's gonna be home next week, hopefully.
To him. Thanks for your info.
Yeah, they're great though. They really are. They're a good community bank, and they're great to do business with.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Good luck.
Were they easy to deal with? Or, I mean, was the process just, long or what was your experience with that?
So, I mean, it depends. We give them some extra challenges because our properties are in land trusts. And so we're taking, and I don't do them anymore, but when we do a cash out refi, and we're doing through our company, through our LLC, and our LLC really doesn't even own that property because the land trust does. So they had to do a couple tricks for us, and they made it work still. That's the thing is why I love that bank, is because they can still work around other areas where some banks would get a total roadblock, and they can still, make it work. It might take a couple extra, weeks or something, but they do some great stuff. And then, before we even did land trust, they were great to do business with. They were pretty easy.
The only thing that I worry about with them is, I mean, I have a couple of things with them, but is the adjustable, obviously the 5-year call or the adjustable rate. I like fixed rate.
Right.
Well, that's the only thing that worries me.
Yeah, and I guess, I mean, I don't think they're going to put themselves in a position where there's going to be issues. I think they just want to have some flexibility there, is what they've told me, because I've asked them the same exact thing. It used to be 10 years, and they just recently changed it last few years to 5. Yeah, I don't love it, but then their rates weren't super lowest anyway, so if there's a chance it could even go down a little lower, especially right now, I mean, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
But once again, like you said, it's not ideal.
I think that there is a cap on the adjustment though, right?
I believe there is, and it's been so long since I've done it. It's probably been 2 or 3 years since I've had to actually use them for that.
One thing that I did is like running my numbers, I just shoot for the highest interest rate that I could possibly have if the crap hit the fan, and know that I'm still going and everything will be okay.
Right. I mean, worst case scenario, even if it went up a few points, I mean, it wouldn't be.
Right.
I mean, it could be, but
I'm just starting with them right now. So I mean, I have other mortgages I've done with them before, but I'm doing a portfolio with them because not all the banks are going to do portfolios.
right. And the one thing they do too, which now I kind of regret doing, not that it's bad, but you could do umbrellas, so we could put multiple properties under one loan with them as well, which is kind of neat. But then if you go to sell them, it could cost, I haven't gone through the selling process of that yet, but it could be. But they do have that ability to do it too, where you can lump a handful of properties together under an umbrella and take out one loan for them. But the one ultimate key for Canandaigua, I say over and over again, because of my old job, I pulled tens of thousands of credit reports at the dealership. you see somebody who does a business owner or anything else, and they've got all these loans in their name, it drags their credit score down. Even if you're paying everything on time, it's just the debt. And if you can avoid having that debt on your credit report, personally, CMB is the one place that does that. And with you personally guaranteeing, or with them, when you personally guarantee those loans, it's nice it's not on there.
No.
Sorry, I have a 5-year-old running around in the background. If you haven't heard the footsteps pitter pattering.
Okay.
I was wondering what you were trying not to laugh at.
It's like it's bedtime. My son's like running around the house and going upstairs to bed. So he knows he's got a couple extra spare minutes. My wife's still laughing at it because trying to rustle a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Bring him on video for a minute. Come on, bring him in, Dad.
Come here, Bradley. They want to say hi to you. Watch, now he'll be Mr. Shy Guy for a second.
Yeah, there you go. Go to
But I'll tell
bed.
you what, this guy comes to all the properties with us. He is part of the process on every one of them. Can you say hi, Bradley?
Hi.
Yo, Bradley. What's going on?
Say bedtime, huh?
Bedtime.
You buy
houses?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Tell them how you buy houses. I mean, we got names for every one of them. They have a special name for every house that we did. The last one we just bought, we're closing on tomorrow. He went in the basement, and I tell him no running, but of course, try to tell that to a 5-year-old, and he slipped, and there was, obviously it's an older basement, and there's like this sludge all over him. I had bottles of water in the car there just for this reason. They're nice and warm, so it kind of, I got them cleaned up in 2 minutes, but it's the sludge house now. So, but that's part of it. That's why with this job now, working from home, it's kind of neat. I could go on my own, but usually it's fun even dragging the wife and kids with me.
Nice.
But it does have obstacles like that once in a while too. So sorry about that.
Your wife wasn't with you.
No problem. No, glad you brought him on.
Yeah.
Who else? Anybody else got questions?
Oh, I got a question. Well, not a question, just like basically to the whole group. I have like my brother's trying to purchase a home, and his price range is between 100 to 400K. In the New York City area, and he wants 2 to 4 beds, either 2 to 4 beds and 2 bathrooms, so either a 2-2 or 4-2. And then he's looking in the Queens area, Staten Island area, and anywhere in Brooklyn besides Brownsville and not Bronx.
What price range?
His price range is between 100 to 400K. So if anybody wanted to like JV on it or anything like that, then we can definitely do it. Yeah, 100 to 400K. Yeah, I should be starting.
He's looking to pay 100 to 400K for a house in New York City.
Yes.
Does he care if it has a roof?
He said 100 to 400K, even though like 100K.
In New York City, you could buy a wall.
Yeah.
You're gonna start at 400.
Yeah. So I was hoping he was gonna get the 4.2 from, but that's
Lines doesn't have to have roof and windows. You could probably find one for 400,000 plus.
Yeah, I just helped my nephew through the process in Queens, and he got a 1-bedroom, and it was $360. It was pretty small. I mean, I'm talking 800 square feet.
Oh my God.
830, I think it was. Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah, so yeah, he got pre-approved. He told me for 400K to 500K got pre-approved for.
Tell him to work his way up the Hudson, buy something up there, and take the train into town. Seriously.
All right. Okay, so no $400,000 houses in New York City. Any other questions?
Yeah, I guess that's a no-go.
I don't know.
No, that's a no-go.
Yeah. $400,000 buys a lot of house here in Rochester, man.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Go buy Scott's house for $199,900.
1999. That's right. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Cool. All right. Anybody else got anything? Any questions? Anything you want to know or ask? I mean, this is a panel of experts, you know. So, you know, somebody probably knows the answer to what you're looking for.
This is Penny. Does anybody have any experience with e-REITs or syndication?
Anybody? Joe McGuire, maybe.
I was going to say, we do have members who do syndication, but none of them are here.
Right.
I don't know why this isn't unmuting. The yeah, I know a little bit about it, and probably enough to say there are various types, and I'm not going to do one. It's the overhead on it is just too costly. There's a number of attorneys. Probably the most current one that's in a lot of real estate things now is Jillian Sidoti, and I forget the name of her company. She and a partner started a new company, and but I could get her contact information for you. They had some specials at one time, but there's 2 versions to it. The full-blown version we're not going to ever do, and the lighter version is doable, but the overhead was more than I thought that was worth my time in any case. You know, Scott and Joe could well be worth their time, but there are other ways to do it, and I didn't want to pay that overhead for it.
Okay, thank you.
But if you want her information, let me know, and I can. I get email from her all the time.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Anybody else? Anything you want to add? We're you know, I heard the other day, and I don't know if it's true or not, but they said 2/3 all restaurants in New York will go out of business before this COVID thing's over. You know, it's one thing, we got to get out there and support the small businesses and such. I know I mentioned it before, but you know, if you're out and about, go get some takeout from a small restaurant. You know, visit the small shops, because man, they're hurting right now. And that's the only thing that's going to get them through it is people like us. We're all small business owners. If you're investing in real estate, you're a small business owner. So we're just happen to be at a good time for us right now. But you know, get out there. Where do we have our meeting, Susan? When they were going?
Yeah, Stone Ridge Plaza. Da Vinci.
Yeah, Da Vinci. Yeah.
Stone Ridge Plaza.
Yes. Yeah, my wife and I went there for dinner about a month ago, and food's just as good as it was. Service was awesome. The place really was, there wasn't many people there eating. So they're feeling it. And we need them to stick around, because if and when we can start meeting again, we'll probably go back to Da Vinci's. They've treated us really well. So, you know, over the years. So if you get a chance, you're going out there and you want to get takeout or something like that, just swing in Da Vinci's there in the Stone Ridge Plaza, get something from them. Unfortunately, Rick's Prime Rib did shut down. They kind of had good timing on that, I think.
It was unfortunate.
Yeah, but you know, get out there and support those small businesses. So.
Speaking of supporting small businesses and everybody in real estate, who's golfing tomorrow? Who am I going to see at the golf course? I'm not golfing, but I'll be there for most of the day with my kid.
Not me.
Nobody. All right, cool.
Oh, buddy.
You, Andy, why don't you talk a little bit about that? And maybe not a lot of people know about that and what it's all about. The Under
Yeah,
One Roof.
absolutely. So Under One Roof is a coalition that FFREIA has spent a good chunk of change supporting this year, pretty close to 10 grand. And they work to overturn and keep on top of and keep some of these crazy laws that are impacting landlords and real estate investors across New York from being buried. Jamie Kane and a group called NYCRA, which is an Albany chapter of the National Apartment Association, started it. FFREIA backs it strongly. They're doing a lot of good work. They do calls, not every day anymore, but probably 2 to 3 times a week on Zoom, keeping people abreast of what's happening as far as the laws coming out of Albany and all the craziness from Cuomo that's crushing a lot of small businesses like bars and restaurants, but also all the laws they passed last June and where we stand on that and evictions and everything else. A lot of our information is coming from there. And the golf outing tomorrow is a fundraiser specifically to help the organization pay for the lobbyists and the lawyers that have to stay on top of all this garbage that's coming down out of the governor's office right now. It's a great cause. You can check it out at underoneroofny.com or .org. And there's links to it on the FFREIA website as well. And it's it's worth supporting. And I'll say this since I have 2 seconds and Scott's letting me. Please make sure that if you have not joined FFREIA yet, you do so. Your money goes to a good cause. It is helping keep this great educational and networking organization running. It lets us support Under One Roof, but it also lets us do things like the picnic that we had last week and all of the Zoom meetings and the overhead and all that other fun stuff that goes with it. It's an all-volunteer organization. Nobody's getting paid. The board members do not get paid. So Leon, Susan, and Joe, thank you for everything you do for free. It's like a full-time job, but they're not getting paid for it. So your money goes to a good cause. It's not being used for anything. It is a business write-off, so you can write it off as a business expense. It's a 501c6. And that's pretty much what I got.
All right, cool. All right, with that, we'll wrap up the meeting. I'll just hang on for a few minutes, but thanks everybody for joining. Next week is the landlord meeting. I can't stress enough, I don't care if you're 65 or 15. Next September 10th, jump on the thing with Equity Trust. Learn how you can go into retirement and live tax-free. It's just awesome. Save for the future. If you start saving now, you'll be blown away at where you'll be. So thanks everybody for joining.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
Stay
guys.
safe.
That's it.
Night.
Good night.
I think I had to talk to Joe about something. Didn't I talk to Joe?
Yeah, Rashad, you want to talk with Joe LaBarbera? He's a wholesale guy.
Yeah, Joe.
Guys are too funny.
All right. I'm actually going to drop off. I owe somebody a phone call who's on here. I'm going to call him right now because I got 2 other phone calls.
I'm going to get some calls.
All right. See
Thanks,
y'all.
everybody.
Go make some money.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Buy houses.
Sell them.